Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Sylvan's Way. And, I just want to tell you, there are some decks that arrive and you use them right away. And then there's some decks that you instinctively set aside, not because you don't want to use them, but because you know they belong to a specific moment. And that's the way it was for this deck for me. I received the Rabbit Tarot deck back in November of 2025. And as soon as I opened it, I knew this is not a winter deck. This is a spring deck. And for me, specifically, an Ostara deck. So I have been waiting until this special moment, this actual weekend, to open up this deck and start working with it because it's Ostara. So happy Ostara, everyone. And this is my special deck review of the Rabbit Tarot for Ostara. Let's jump into it. This is the Rabbit Tarot deck created by Louis Art, who is an illustrator based in Hong Kong. And this was successfully funded on Kickstarter in June of 2025. And like I said, I received mine in November of last year, but I've been waiting to use it until this spring. This deck is a fully illustrated 78 card deck based on the Rider-Waite Smith system, but reimagined in a world of rabbits with watercolor inspired fairy tale aesthetics. I absolutely adore it and love it and can't wait to show it to you. But before we look at the deck, I wanted to share with you some of the Kickstarter stuff that I got. And you can still get all of this Kickstarter stuff from their website, which I will link below. So first, I want to share with you this tablecloth or this cloth for oracle. What am I saying? This cloth, but it's got two sides to it, and so the other side has the rabbit and the name, and then this side has like little bunnies and flowers on it, and it's just so stinking adorable. So stinking adorable. I think I might actually use it as an altar cloth. I also, because I went all in, I also got these really cute little rabbit stickers that I'm looking forward to using. And then there was these postcards that came with the package. So those are super, look at how stinking cute they are. They're so, oh my God, so cute. So it's a postcard. So you can put a stamp on it and you can actually write something out and put who it's from. It's super duper adorable. There is also this bookmark. It came with this bookmark. Isn't that cute? It came with a keychain. So look at that keychain. Isn't that adorable? It came with a bag to put the deck in. So the deck fits right in it, still in the box, and it fits in it, which I like. Sometimes when they make these bags, they make the bag a little too small to fit it with the box. I like when I'm storing it to be able to leave it in its box for extra protection inside of the bag. So it came with the bag. And well, you have to get it extra, but I got the all in. So I got all of this stuff. It even came with this little bag here that you can carry like books in. It's not too huge, but it's still super stinking cute. And then of course I got the art book. So it's so awesome. So now that I have this book here, let's talk about this book. So the deck itself does not come with a guidebook because it follows the Rider-Waite Smith structure, but you can still purchase this full illustration book, which includes all 78 cards with both upright and reverse meanings. So this book really makes it accessible, especially if you're newer to tarot or if you just like having a more detailed reference when you're learning a deck. But since this is Rider-Waite Smith, it's really not necessary. You don't have to get this, but of course I went all in, so I got it. And it's hardcover. What a nice book. It's so beautifully done. It's very, very pretty. It tells you about the illustrator, about this book. It gives you the contents here, and then it jumps right in, and you get a full image of the card itself. You get a little story that goes with it, and then the upright and the reversed meaning. So all of the cards are in here like this. And notice this is a really well-made book. It's not glued together. It's actually stitched together. Can you see the stitching? So this book should last a really long time. It's just so pretty. It's such a pretty book. There are no spreads in it, no background information. It just goes right into it because this is almost an illustrated art book, but it does give you a story for each one of the cards with the upright and reversed. It's just really adorable. I absolutely love it. Okay, so that is the book that you can get separately if you would like. Okay, next let's look at the packaging that these cards come in. It's super cute. This is the back side. There's no writing really on it, but look, it's got like this little ribbon. It's just so stinking adorable. And then we open it up, and then we have the inside of it, and then it goes right into the cards themselves. And like I said, it doesn't have a guidebook. It just has the cards in the box. So if you want a guidebook, you have to buy that other hardback, you know, guidebook. So the cards themselves, they are your standard tarot sized deck, which is 70 by 122 millimeters. It's made with 350 GSM cardstock, so it's a good quality cardstock. This is the edging. There's no edging on it whatsoever. I think I might edge this in, of course, this blue color that's on the back. And look at these backs. They are absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And of course, they are reversible, and there's reversible meanings in the user guide. So as far as the images go, at first glance, these cards look very soft. They look really super gentle and whimsical. I would say definitely whimsical. But when you spend some time with the cards, there's actually a lot more emotional depth here than you might actually expect because the images really feel narrative to me. It's like you're stepping into a story. Oh my gosh, look at that bunny. He's so cute. There are definitely moments in these cards that feel light and hopeful, but then, like the Ten of Cups or the Sun, when those are very hopeful moments. But then there's also cards that don't shy away from the heavier themes of the cards that we know. So the Five of Cups, the Eight of Swords, they still feel isolating. They carry that sense of anxiety. Even the Death and the Devil retain their weight. So it's just softened through this beautiful watercolor storybook type lens of these images. And they are just so stinking cute, 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 cute. Can't wait to show them to you. So let's do a deck flip through so that you could see all of these gorgeous cards. Aren't they adorable? Oh my gosh. Now, I want to point out, like, even though these cards are super cute and sweet, there is still some teeth. I mean, look at this death card. I mean, that's got some teeth to it. So it's not like this is all love and light. This is definitely got some darker imagery in it, but it's not super scary. Like, let's see some other ones. So look at that, stepping away. So see what I mean? How these are still really cute cards. There's adorableness to it, but it still carries the weight of the meaning of that card. So I feel like it still has teeth, but it's accessible. Like, look at that one. Wow. So, I mean, luckily there's no blood. I'm glad there's no blood. But so I just feel like even though this is a very cute deck, it still has teeth. It can still give some very good readings. Okay, let's give it a shuffle and see how these cards shuffle. Oh, they're a little stiff. That was kind of a hard shuffle for me. I have small hands and it's 350 GSM. So with this matte finish, and so they are a little stiff and harder for me to shuffle. I think though that this cardstock will give in over time and make a really nice shuffle in time. Let's do a couple more hand over hands. And then let's do a waterfall. It was a little difficult for me. They are very stiff. They are very stiff. Let's do another. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting better. Because this is the first time I've shuffled these cards. Yeah. Okay. We just got to do some breaking in on these. Whoa. Okay. And let's go also see what it's like to do this. So it's not too bad. Very pretty. It's super duper pretty. I love it. I absolutely love it. So for me, this deck feels deeply connected to Ostara. Not just because of the rabbits, but really because of the energy. There seems to be this sense of emergence, of quiet beginnings, of something waking up after long stillness. Even in the more difficult cards, there's this feeling of movement. Like nothing is completely stuck. It's like everything is part of a cycle. And that feels very aligned with this time of year for me. That transition from winter into spring where there's things aren't fully in bloom yet. You know what I mean? But they're no longer dormant. So I think this is a great deck. And, I wanted for this deck review, I wanted to take a moment to do a collective Ostara reading. So I'm using a 3-card spread that I called Emergence, which I shared yesterday. So let me shuffle this a little bit up. We're going to do a zoom in and we'll do the reading. Okay, so let's see. We have the Ace of Pentacles for what's beginning to awaken. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles, 2 pentacles in a row, for what needs tending. And then we have the 3 of Wands for what's ready to grow forward. So starting with the Ace of Pentacles, this really feels like the beginning of something that you can actually build on. Not just an idea, but something tangible. It might be a small, but it's stable and it has potential. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles. This feels like that moment where you're wondering if what you've been doing is actually working. Like, do I keep going with this? And this card is really saying yes, but it's going to take some time. Growth isn't immediate. And then we have the Three of Wands. This is where things really start to open up. There's expansion here, like realizing what you've started could go further than you expected. There's forward movement, planning, a sense of stepping into something bigger. So overall, this feels like something is starting, but it needs some patience, but it is going somewhere. You just need to stay with it and, long enough for it to grow and get to this point. So if this resonates, like take what you will, leave the rest, but that was a reading for the collective. Put these here so you can see those better. Very cute together. Okay, let's clean this up and we'll give the overall thoughts. Okay, so overall, this deck feels like, what I would call a gentle entry point into tarot, but it still holds emotional depth. It's very readable and very intuitive, and the visual experience is definitely beautiful to work with. If you are someone who enjoys animal decks that, have a softer storybook kind of imagery, then I really think that this one is one that I think would be easy to connect with. And for me personally, this deck is definitely going to be getting used this spring season. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What decks are you reaching for this spring or during Ostara? Okay, so if you enjoyed spending time with this deck and with me, don't forget to hit like on this video and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Until next time, may you remember that even the smallest beginnings can lead you somewhere extraordinary. I appreciate you. Until next time, bye.